Welcome to
the Random Podcast by Brian and Brianna.
Yes.
Today's our second episode of the podcast, and we're gonna have a bit more of a themed more themed episodes.
As per some suggestions. We also got some other suggestions from people, and we figured out our audio situation. We had these mics on the wrong setting. So,
Okay.
And now we have boom arms and pop filters.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and start with some questions that you guys asked. Today's theme's just gonna be about relationships and school and how that mixes together.
A question asking how old we are. I am 16 as of today. Wait, that sounds wrong. No, I've been 16 as of last year, August 12th. So I'm turning 17 in...
Like what, 12 days? Something like that.
What day is it tomorrow?
Today's July 30th.
Okay, so like 13 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brian turned 19 on June 12th. So, our age difference is about...
Exactly.
Yeah,
2 years and 2
exactly.
months.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, our next question, mutual flags, green flags, and red flags. I guess about each other.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that.
I need to move this.
How do people do this, honestly? Or maybe if we went like this. Oh, wait, that's better.
That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. But then I kind of gotta turn my head to talk to. This is kind of weird though. I don't know.
I think it doesn't matter like if it's like right.
Okay. Because I talk louder than you anyways. Alright. Neutral flags. What are my neutral flags?
Actually, you need to first define what a neutral flag is because I'm not too aware.
Let's Google the definition here just to make sure I don't get anything wrong.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear the noise outside, but there's a bit of a construction going on in Brianna's house.
In my backyard, which is why we that plus like the inside of the house is loud right now. So we have moved to a new location, either permanently or temporarily, which is like
I like this though.
What's
I like
this
this.
called? It's like the studio / shed in my backyard.
Yeah.
Or neutral flags are more well known as beige flags, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Beige flag refers to a person's strange or odd behaviors that catch someone off guard but typically don't hurt that person's desirability. A beige flag is neither good nor bad, but it does draw attention.
Okay. I think you're a beige flag. I need to think about it because I feel like I just like everything about you, so there's...
Well, it's neither good nor
Okay.
bad, right?
Okay, so a neutral flag or a beige flag that Brianna has would be her ADHD because the fact that she can kind of like change her focus right away. It's kind of like somewhat hard to keep up with because I don't necessarily have ADHD. But at the same time, I like the fact that she can be random and just like be distracted, but also like hyper focused once in a while.
Once in a while.
Okay, like let's like not once in a while, sorry, but like I think you're more often like in your like distracted mode. Kind of, I don't know.
I don't know about that. I
No,
think
but when
you're
you-
more
when you-
distracted than
yeah,
me.
You're right.
For someone without ADHD.
And that's just
Okay, I think that your beige flag is that you're good at everything, which sounds more like a green flag, right? But in reality, it sort of neutralizes itself because you're like good at everything, which is somewhat of a good thing, but like you can pick things up really quickly, but it's actually frustrating because it makes me realize how bad I am at stuff, or it sort of emphasizes how bad I am at things. So yeah, I would say that's a beige flag.
Okay, so green and red flags.
Green and red flags.
Okay. Okay, your green flags are that you're like a pretty selfless person. So I think if we were to be like either of us has a bad day, if I were to mention it first, maybe you'd care more about my feelings than your own. And I think you look out for me more often than you look out for yourself. That's pretty selfless. And maybe like one more green flag would be that you're like friendly with my family. Like you're pretty close to with my family, and so that makes it easier for me to like kind of be more open to my family about our relationship because you guys are so close.
Yeah, I would say same green flags for you, honestly.
Okay, say something different though.
I know, let me think. I would say that, well, I guess it's kind of also like selflessness. You definitely keep me pretty high priority too. And you are, like, this is personally for me a green flag. I know for other people it's not quite the same, but like you're also clingy and I'm also clingy, so it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Red flags.
Red flags? Okay. I didn't really think of red flags about you. But if I were to say, maybe it's Brianna does get sensitive sometimes. And it's not necessarily like always a bad thing. I think being sensitive is part of being a woman. So it's not like completely a red flag, but I think that's the closest of a red flag I can get with Brianna. Like she's a bit sensitive, especially during her period, which is understandable, obviously.
Or like before.
Yeah, I think it's still like pretty difficult for me as like the for me to kind of take it sometimes, because like I sometimes have my days too, but I want to be able to be available to comfort her. So then I gotta suppress my emotions, which is yeah, but I mean I don't think it's too much of a red flag,
I don't think you need to suppress your emotions either.
Yeah, I know, but I'd rather not show that like I'm not feeling well either, and like when you're feeling bad, because it just like makes it worse.
I think it makes it worse if you don't share it too.
Okay, but I can like share it like later.
Okay.
Yeah. Like when you're feeling better. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say red flags for you. You sometimes say things that like you don't mean, and I guess that's not necessarily a red flag, but that's something I never could wrap my head around, because I'm like, for me, I would never ever say anything that I didn't mean unless it was like a failed attempt at a joke. But I just like, I can't grasp the fact that like people would say stuff they don't mean.
I'm unserious though.
No, but like when you are serious.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Now I think I'm just bad at making arguments, but like if I wanted to like say anything, like out of my head, I'm bad at articulating it, so I say a certain way. But then oh shoot, yeah, like I don't think that's the right way to say it. I don't know, but either way.
Yeah, another thing is, okay. another thing is when he translates things, he translates, like, he'll give me the translation, but like 2% of it. Like, he'll summarize it too much, if that makes sense. Like, if his mom, like...
No, but I feel like I just want to, like, get rid of all the unnecessary, like, filler.
Nothing's unnecessary. Especially if it's coming from an elder.
Okay. Biggest fight or argument?
I don't know what our biggest fight / argument. What do you define as a fight / argument?
I feel like we didn't really have too many like crazy arguments. I think we had like, or like we didn't. I feel like most of our conflicts were like calm. It's pretty calm.
Yeah, not like yelling arguments, you know.
We never yelled at each other. I raised my voice, but I didn't necessarily like yell at her or like violently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can testify.
Have I ever raised my voice at you?
No.
I think a couple times.
No, but yeah, like a quiet-ish yell. Like.
Oh, I can be really loud.
Okay, but
you can ask my mom.
Yeah. No, but she hasn't ever been.
Yeah. But we should give some sort of answer. Maybe not fight / argument, but more like conflict.
Conflict?
Yeah.
In the beginning stage of our relationship, I think our dynamic is a little different. Where
it was a little.
It was different because I don't know. I think we were both like somewhat inexperienced in relationships. Like we were like more emotional, less like thoughtful kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't really thinking about how do we build a solid
Yeah,
foundation.
so like at some point we had like talks about like how to like, well, I wanted to fix it, and then like we took a break and
yeah, for like
3 days. It was for 2 or 3 days, and then we got back. And we kind of fixed it right off the bat after we got back together. So
yeah,
you know,
I think it, like, I don't think either of us necessarily regret it. I think there are better ways we could have done it, but that break was really helpful in like giving us a wake up call and like, okay, we actually need to solve, or we actually need to strengthen our relationship foundation, because otherwise our relationship's going to be at stake. Yeah.
I think that a big part of like fixing an issue in the relationship is communication, and you know, like sometimes taking a break may or may not be good. Like I think generally it's not actually a good way to like try to fix an issue in the relationship, because when you guys go like no communication or anything, like it could be like a way to like break the relationship like even more. I think the reason our case worked was because we still communicated during the break, so I think that's what helped. We were just like kind of like more civil with each other, less romantic. Is that how we can put it?
Yeah. Sure. Okay, look at this. When I talk, it's like this, and when you talk, it's like this.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna try I'll try to talk louder, but it's just a little bit. Because my normal voice is like not that loud, so.
Was it always that way? Or were you really quiet as a kid too?
I think I was always just quiet. It's not because I wasn't talkative. It's just my voice is a bit weak, I guess. So like, you know, I just always had trouble trying to like speak out. It's not the case for singing though. I think I'm louder than her when I sing. It's a little bit different. Yeah. No, I could be loud when I sing. think it's different. Like I think the way I use my vocal cords is different when I sing compared to when I like talk.
I mean, so is mine, but it's just the opposite. It's inverted.
Yeah.
I talk louder and I sing quieter, and he talks quiet and sings loud.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't sing that loud, but sure.
You want me to sing loud? I'll sing loud. You know. Okay, so what was the hardest part of high school, and any advice for a rising freshman?
You go first.
Okay, so hardest part of high school, I think was to keep my grades up when I didn't feel like studying, because school's a commitment, and sometimes you don't really want to do it, or you don't feel like it, you don't enjoy it, and that's like part of every educational system, because I don't think you're supposed to enjoy school, but it's just part of the process to kind of develop into, you know, the person you are now, like the experiences you have, but sometimes it's just difficult. So I think that for me, that was the hardest part of high school. In terms of advice, I think for a rising freshman, just make sure the things you like to do aren't preventing you from fulfilling your responsibilities as a student, because you know, like obviously, like you want to go out, hang out with your friends, because all your friends are hanging out, or maybe you know, you want to like play video games with your friends, whatever. But if those things are preventing you from your responsibilities as a student, which is to keep your grades up or to study for like the next test or do your homework, I think in the future, in the long run, it could hurt you. Maybe it won't, but I feel like it would have a higher chance of hurting you, because it may create bad habits for the future. And when you're an adult, you want to have habits that you've had developed way before you became an adult, like especially during high school, where your brain is at the final stages of like developing before you.
That is not true.
Is it not true?
Your frontal cortex fully develops at age 25.
Okay, well, you still wanna, I guess. Okay, well, maybe
you're a rising
okay.
freshman. That's like 10 years back.
Okay, so I was wrong, but I think that it's good to develop your habits early on, so that it's not more difficult later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say similar. Hardest part of high school, I would say it is hard to be motivated in high school if you don't have existing pressure, for example, parental pressures to keep your grades up, or like, oh, I have this dream of like what I want to become in the future, and I'm just gonna strive for that. So I think some advice I would give is to put pressure on yourself. I think that's when I really started to succeed in high school. Not in a toxic way, not in the ways that I see some people do sometimes, where it's really unhealthy and they're essentially like idolizing their academics and grades, etc., etc. But I think it is healthy to have some of that pressure come from yourself, like motivational pressure, if that makes sense, because if it's only coming from your parents, it's gonna feel like a really heavy burden and all of that. I would also, another piece of advice I would give is do not miss class. Like, okay, if you're really, really sick, yes, miss class, but like if you don't have a super valid reason to miss class, just don't miss class, because once you start, it's really, really hard to stop. Yeah, that's what I would say.
What do you think is the hardest transition from high school to college? Okay, so I think that's kind of like for me to answer, right? I mean, you could.
I mean, I could guess, but like I can't quite.
So, yeah, hardest transition, maybe like making new friends. You're in a new environment. For me, I don't think my school didn't have anybody that I knew personally. I mean, I think there was like one senior from back in Guam when I was in Guam that but I didn't really know her too well, so didn't really reach out to her. I knew she was there, but like other than her, I don't think I knew anybody from Santa Clara. So I think making friends part of it. I still don't have too many. I think another one is to maintain the habits I had from high school, because I think university works a little bit different than high school in a way where you don't have your parents looking at your grades all the time, or like you don't have like you have less of a disciplinary system, so then you're more tempted to do other things other than education in college. That's why a lot of freshmen will go out, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But when you do it too often, it could be bad for you. So that could be like a hardest transition from high school to college. I think for me it was just that. Yeah. Tips for college.
Again.
Okay, I feel like it's the same kind of like thing I would say. Yeah, I mean,
it's similar.
Make friends, make good friends though. Keep your circle close and tight, but you want like good friends around you, not many friends. It's like, I think I heard someone say like, I'd rather have two $50 bills than like 100 $1 bills, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like I see a lot of adults, and some of their closest friends, at least like my mom, for example, like her closest friends are friends that she met in college. So I think that's how it goes for a lot of adults, if it's not people that they met in their workplace. Like, you can make some lifelong friends.
Okay, so our last question is gonna be school plans and plans after school. I'm guessing like what? Like
school plans and plans after. Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what like after means though. Like
after
the day, like at the end of the day, or like you mean like during break.
I guess we can answer both.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can low-key answer for both of us. So, in terms of our weekly schedule, we plan on focusing mostly on like academics during the week. Depending on like whatever our classes are demanding, it can change. But in general, I would say mostly academics during the week and seeing each other mainly on the weekends, because I plan on coming home for the weekends because I want to stay at our church and continue serving there. So yeah, I'm going to be like taking the Caltrain back and forth, that sort of thing. What I'm majoring in is bio. I'm like on the pre-med track. So like, I'm trying to say like less. I'm trying to use less filler words, which is why I'm talking so slow, by the way.
You can speed it up.
I aspire to someday become an optometrist, perhaps. And yeah, so after undergrad, I'm most likely gonna go to med school. And while I'm doing that, he plans on.
I'm doing music, so I'll just be working on my my business. What I'm doing is just continuing what my dad did, which is open music schools, operate music schools, and hopefully my goal, which is to, hopefully I can fulfill my goal, which is to, create a music franchise. Maybe not all across the country, but it's like enough places so that you can call it a franchise. Maybe like along the West Coast and the East Coast, something like that. Because I feel like in terms of music, it's gonna be like more profitable around Asian populated areas, just because, you know, statistically I think more Asians push for like their kids to learn music than you know, white Americans. So then I would probably focus more on the Asian populated areas.
Yeah, I mean, there's other like racial groups too.
Yeah.
Not just white people.
I know, but I'm just comparing those two because
yes.
I don't know the statistics for other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why. But yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that is the current plan so far, but there's always room for change.
No, I think this is it.
Well, if it's God's will.
Yeah. If you're right. Right now, this seems like the right way to go.
Yeah. I think God provides certain people with different passions and like talents and skills, and that can make it clearer what path He has set out for you, essentially. You know? Yeah. That is the end of today's video, today's episode. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys.
And continue to ask questions, please. We would very much appreciate that. So, see you guys next time.
See you guys.